Hello, Loup Power District, employees, retirees, family and friends, and welcome to this month's edition of Canal Chronicles. When you think of Loup Power District, obviously the city of Columbus comes to mind first and foremost, as it is the largest community in our four-county area. But I like to think of all the smaller communities that we provide service to and where a number of our employees live and where we have offices. We have division offices in Albion and Fullerton, as well as single-person offices in Genoa, St. Edward, Cedar Rapids, Newman Grove, Humphrey, and Clarkson, as well as an individual at the Monroe Powerhouse, and of course, our headworks operation south and west of Genoa. All of these places provide valuable service to all of our customers, and we're excited that we can represent all of our customers in these various locations. They are also represented by our board members who represent various areas and provide input from the public to management that we might not get otherwise. I'm also happy to say that I've been able to go to all of our towns and meet with their boards and other individuals in those various communities and get input as to what's going on with Loup Power District. It's ironic, a number of years ago I made several commercials during the Christmas season on promotions going on throughout various communities and to take advantage of shopping in those various communities. I had one person come up to me and say, well, that community doesn't have any shopping, but it is amazing what are in our smaller communities and what can be found just by looking around a little bit and finding that out. So I take pride in knowing that we provide service to a lot of different locations and a lot of different individual entities that provide a valuable service to all of our employees, to all of the people in the four-county area, and provide advantages for everyone to be taken care of in any way that you want. In early May, NRTC made a presentation to district's management regarding the smart grid technology study that has been mentioned several times in past months. This smart grid technology planning study is going to lay out a lot of things that the district might do with regard to our metering system and other activities that we have going on, such as outage mapping, reliability tracking, and our communications network throughout the four-county area. It was really interesting from a management perspective to see what NRTC was recommending and to see where we need to go forward. Management is reviewing the roadmap provided by NRTC and will be making further steps in the next several years to implement many of the roadmap items that NRTC pointed out. In addition, management is planning to have NRTC present the roadmap to the board of directors to give them an indication of exactly the results of the study so that the board may have a better understanding of where the district is headed with advanced metering infrastructure and technology and communications upgrades throughout the district's four-county area. So stay tuned for more information in the upcoming months. District management received a report from the American Public Power Association in late April regarding the revenue per kilowatt hour and the district's standings amongst all utilities in Nebraska and throughout the nation. Overall, the district ranks 9th lowest out of 153 utilities in Nebraska and 213th lowest out of 3,131 utilities throughout the United States. This is great news as the district strives to be in the lowest 10th percentile of utilities throughout both Nebraska and the United States, and we've met that goal again for 2021. In residential rates, the district is 24.8% below the United States average, and overall we're 30.8% below the average revenue per kilowatt hour throughout the United States. It's great that we're this competitive with our rates, and it really shows that the district is working hard both with our power supplier, Nebraska Public Power District, and with the board and our employees to keep our cost and rates low to all of our customers. This is something that we strive for and look for on a regular basis, and we work very hard with our board to make sure that we are keeping costs as low as possible, to keep our rates as low as possible. This revenue per kilowatt hour comparison is a great benchmark for the district, and the district provides this to the board on a regular basis as we receive these results to kind of take into account where we're at overall competitive wise, and to really help us gauge ourselves if we're doing the right things. Another item that came up at today's board meeting was supply chain issues throughout the United States. The district is working on a replacement bucket truck for our Newman Grove area, and we took bids on the bucket truck earlier this month. 2 bids were received, but the interesting thing is, and the bids were fairly close to each other, but the interesting thing was, one bid was for a 2-year time period, and another one was for over 50 months. So think about that. That's 4 years from today, if we ordered it now, that we would actually receive the bucket truck. These supply chain issues are making it very difficult for the district in regarding normal business operations. And we've been talking and are going to be looking at working with the board to revise our budgeting process to give the board a little bit better handle on not just the next year's budget, but on future year's budgets, so that we can handle ordering items as we work through these supply chain issues. It's difficult enough to know that it might be another year or 2 before you can get a bucket truck, but thinking that it might be 4 years out until you can get one, and that you might need to make payments in between, creates financial difficulties and financial pressures that the district needs to understand as we move forward. So we'll be working with the board and management on that in the future. District management also made a presentation to the board regarding payments made to communities for the first quarter of 2023. These payments are based upon the 11% lease payment in the professional retail operations agreements that we have with both cities. The payments total approximately $1.7 million, and it's a way that we give back to the cities for them allowing us to operate the electric systems within each of those communities. This is something that's part of the agreements we have with the city, and that money goes back into the city's general funds to be used for the cities as they see fit. So many of our communities, Columbus, Albion, Fullerton, and all the rest, get a payment from the district that they can use in ways that they see that would best be utilized by their communities. As I mentioned at the beginning, Loup Power District is not just about Columbus, but it's about all the communities that we provide service in. Earlier this month, I started reading a book called Sports in a Nebraska Town, A Year in the Press Box, which is based upon actual events. It was written by Mark Miller. Mark used to be the communications coordinator here at Loup Power District many years ago. Then he went and worked in the communications department at Nebraska Public Power District before retiring a couple of years ago. Mark's written 2 or 3 books, if I understand things right, and this book is an interesting take on his life when he was working for a newspaper in Tekamah, Nebraska, basically writing about the sporting events that went on in that community. It's an interesting book. It's got a lot of neat little facts in it, but this just goes to show that our small communities and the small communities that we provide service in really are what form the backbone of who we are. Without those communities, we would not have people coming in from various locations to work in Columbus or to work in the various towns that we have many different activities going on in. So I really salute those small communities because you are what make the district who we are. So with that, and as always, be happy and stay safe.